in that application is pretty groundbreaking technology. As it turns out, for Kroger, they found our program one of the easiest to work with. We were interested in partnering with them. We were willing to work with them to pilot this technology in Illinois. Between January of this past year and August of this year, Kroger has put in LED lighting in all of their stores in Ameren's territory. They've also put in LED lighting in all of their stores in ComEd's territory. So Illinois right now is the first state in the country where Kroger's done this technology across the state. So California and Oregon and those places that normally lead the way are now following Illinois, which is really nice. I've got a lot of pride in that from a state standpoint and from what our program is doing for customers. And as I go out to Schnucks and Motomart and other stores, based on what Kroger did, they're now looking at doing the same thing. So there can be a real broad impact on the marketplace. One of the funniest stories that I heard, this didn't happen in Illinois, but Kroger's also done LED lighting in their convenience stores that go under the Turkey Hill name in other states. And they actually had a customer come up to them and say, "Do you guys have somebody in the back that's polishing the beer bottles? Everything looks so crisp and clean. Is there somebody back there polishing your beer bottles?" And we also find, when I go in warehouses or manufacturing plants that have the old metal halide lighting and they replace it with the newer high efficiency fluorescent lighting, I'm usually working with a maintenance guy or a facilities manager, and I walk in to inspect a project. They're often as excited about the look of the lighting, the safety, the productivity improvements that the new lighting has generated, in addition to the energy savings and the cost savings that they're getting. So there's a ripple effect above and beyond just the dollars you're going to save. Energy efficiency can really make your facility a safer, more productive place. I'll dive into some details. The best way to keep up with our program, and if you're a business or a residential customer, there's also a residential program with Ameren, Illinois. My work is on the business program, so I know just enough to be dangerous about the residential program, but there are home energy audits and just a variety of different things for you as residential customers as well. If you're a business customer, the best thing to do is go to the actonenergy.com website. We keep that up to date. The applications are all there. If you're doing a lighting project, there's actually an online application, so you don't even need to fill out a piece of paper. You can just go to that online application. And if we have program changes, if we add new programs, if we've got some short-term event going, then that actonenergy.com website is the place to go. There's a variety of programs or pieces of our program. Probably the two that are used the most is our standard program and our custom program. The standard program basically pays you an incentive based on the quantity of items that you're installing. It's designed to be very simple, very streamlined. You don't have to do a bunch of energy efficiency calculations. If you're doing a metal halide to fluorescent retrofit, or if you're putting in occupancy sensors, or if you're replacing like this exit sign with an LED exit sign, if you're doing 50 exit signs, you get an incentive that's based on 50 exit signs that I think is maybe $15 an exit sign. So the standard program covers lighting, HVAC, refrigeration, and motors. And it's very much a fill in the blank. I'm going to do 10 of these and the incentive is $20, or I'm going to do 50 of those and the incentive is $15. It's just filling out, filling out just a fill in the blank application. The custom program is for things that don't fall into that standard application. So that might be compressed air, that might be exterior lighting. If you're in a manufacturing facility, it might be something that's unique to your plant. One of the things that I tell manufacturing folks is, if we can together prove that what you're going to do is going to save kilowatt hours, then we can typically provide you an incentive. So we have a number of projects in the custom program that might be unique to one specific facility. So it might be a process improvement that just that one facility has come up with to improve their business. And we can, if we can prove it, then we can typically provide an incentive. What's critical about our program is that you've got to put in the incentive application before you do the project. If you do the project and get it finished and then apply for the incentives, you disqualify yourself. So if you're contemplating a project or thinking about a project or want to learn about what you might be able to do in your business, then you need to be in contact with us at the front end to make sure that we're working with you. Once you submit an application, we'll provide you a pre-approval letter. That pre-approval letter basically becomes a contract between your business and Ameren, Illinois. And in simple terms, the terms of that contract are that if you complete your project as you described it on your application, then we're going to write you a check when it's done. And we've written last year, just to give you an idea of the scope of the types of incentives we can provide, we had 7 customers that applied for projects that were so large that we provided our maximum incentive of $100,000 for a single project. So we've paid incentives anywhere from $30 all the way up to $100,000. And we're not focused on small businesses at the expense of large businesses. We're not focused on large businesses at the expense of small. We're really set up so that whoever you are and whatever business you're in, our program is set up to support you. So as Mark can tell you from hearing me a month ago, I can talk for a while. I will close out my remarks there, and I don't have a good sense of kind of who's with what businesses around town here. So if there are any of you, I know I'm going to be visiting Mark's facility after the meeting and talking with some of his staff and exploring opportunities over at Beal Manufacturing this afternoon. If there are others of you that have questions or have specific projects or wonder if you're eligible, then we can do Q&A for a while. Yes?
Are government entities eligible for this?
Not for our program, but they are for the DCEO program. In terms of eligibility, the way the state's divided up is anything in Ameren, Illinois Utilities Territory, which is basically south of I-80, so central and southern Illinois, is under our program. Everything in ComEd's territory, which is basically north of I-80, is in ComEd's program. What's excluded is municipal, local, federal, state, any publicly funded entity is excluded from those programs, but the surcharges that come in to Ameren and ComEd, a portion of those are sent to DCEO, which is, DCEO is the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. So DCEO is basically the state energy office in Springfield, and their program is quite similar to ours. They've got standard incentives, custom incentives, and so if you're with a government facility, then if you just Google DCEO, or if you go to the State of Illinois webpage, then you should, or actually even if you go to our webpage, then you'll see some links to DCEO's program. So I guess the other thing, and again, it depends on where you are, customers that are served by municipal utilities, Springfield, Illinois is a great example of this. The way the law was written, if you're served by a municipal utility or if you're served by a co-op, you're excluded. So some parts of southern Illinois, if you get in little pockets here and there, those folks might be served by a city-run utility, and those folks are exempt from the program.